Hi, and welcome to Two Ordinary Nerds, a podcast for two ordinary nerds talking about ordinary nerdy things. How you doing today, Daniel?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Just sitting over here, sipping on some 80 Acre by Boulevard. What are you drinking on?
I'm drinking, it's called Jolly Traveler. It's a winter shady. It's kind of sweet, too sweet for my opinion. This is one of the few beers that it's going to get me kind of hard to drink. It's too sweet.
How many beers would you give that?
I would give it 2. 2 beers out of 5. I mean, it's not a bad beer. It's just, it's not my type. It's too sweet for me.
I'd give 80 Acre 4.5. It's one of my favorite beers. It's got a little bit of fruit in it, a little bit of hops. It's all around good. So, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about Doctor Strange, I think.
It was a good movie.
You enjoyed it?
I did.
All right.
I think, if you guys have not seen the movie, I would hold off on the podcast and go see the movie, and then afterwards come back and listen to this, because this is just going to be full spoilers. So, I think we're going to set our Infinity Stone to...
Repeat.
And
you come here to bargain.
I came here to bargain.
All right.
Well, glad I finally saw that. That was a pretty fucking good movie.
You liked it?
Yeah, dude. I liked it because it wasn't your ordinary Marvel movie. Like, it wasn't all about, like, oh, we gotta fight. I mean, they fought, but, like, it wasn't, like, all... You couldn't tell that it was, like, a huge superhero movie. It was more so about the other realms of world, the world.
I like to see it as Thor. Like, when Thor, like, one of the extended ones. What is it? What are they called? The previews of the next movie?
Oh, yeah, the extended clips.
Yeah, the extended clips. Thor represents, like, the audience. When you sit down and you look at him and you're like, huh, Thor's in. Thor's like, oh, now there's sorcerers in the world. And the beard fills up and you're like, well, that's pretty cool. That's what it is. It's like, oh, we got sorcerers. Like, yeah, that's neat. It's neat. It doesn't blow your mind. It doesn't do anything story-wise. Doesn't do anything like major. It's like, oh, so now we have magic sort of thing, and it's cool because it fills up the beer. So you're like, it's cool. I really think it's, once again, the second movie will be better. It's no Guardians of the Galaxy, which the first one was great. It's no Winter Soldier because the second one was good. But overall, over beginning stories, I'll put it right under Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite beginning movie. Then it's Doctor Strange, Captain America. I like it. Iron Man.
Yeah,
it's one of the best too.
I think Guardians is all around my favorite Marvel movie.
But I mean,
that movie's just so good.
But I can see it being a really good, strong second movie, or be.
I'm interested to see Spider-Man's first movie in this universe. Yeah,
should be fun. I cannot wait for the Easter eggs for that movie too. Like, do you notice that it's basically he's from New York?
Yeah.
And you can see the Avengers Towers when it's flipping over. It's little clips where you can see the A. There's hundreds of Easter eggs.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to just mention them all.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the Avengers Tower, I was like, "Hey, Matt, did you see that? That was pretty cool."
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it, but I don't know. So, what's your synopsis? Because I told it last podcast, but what would you say it's the main story? Tell it without spoiler free. What's it about?
I would say it's about a guy who is very egotistical, and he thinks that the only way to better... He really wants to help people out, but he wants to help himself out more than people. And so, I think after he goes through a car accident, and then after that, he feels that the only way to help people is with his neuroscience, because he's a neurosurgeon. And I feel that with his hands ruined, he feels, oh, I can't do anything else. And then he stumbles upon this, sanctuary that helps him become Doctor Strange. And I think he learns how to be a better human being in general. I think that's the overall picture of the movie, is that there's other ways to help people out. It's not just that one thing you're good at. There's other things. I think that's the overall picture.
I agree.
Minus the fact that he has awesome powers.
What do you thought about basically the main characters, like the actors? Do you thought it was good? I'll just mention.
I think you mean.
What do you think Benedict Cumberbatch did? He did a good job.
Oh yeah, he did. I think he did an excellent job. Him with an American accent, I do agree with a lot of people. I think it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I mean, he still did a great job. Tilda Swinton fucking nailed it. She was amazing.
Who?
Tilda Swinton. She was the
ancient one.
Ancient one. And then what's the other guy?
There was what's his name? Sorry, there was
the guy who plays Kublai Khan.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. How do you pronounce his last name?
Yeah, I can't. Chiwetel. He was in Firefly, like the movie. He was in.
For people who don't know, he is the sidekick of Doctor Strange. For people who don't know this, he's one of the main villains of the Doctor Strange universe. He
was also in a movie that Benedict and him were both together in called 12 Years a Slave, which is a phenomenal movie.
So basically, you give him a good rating too?
He did amazing in this movie.
I was surprised with Rachel McAdams.
Oh yeah, Rachel McAdams.
It was the love interest, but it wasn't the typical dancer in distress and blah, blah, blah. She was strong, she was independent, and she brought something to the table. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm here, like, for me.
Well, that's what I liked about it, is that even though there are, like, those other surgeons there, he's like, okay, her part, she can do this herself, so he's just like, no, I just want you to do it. And then she was able to do the whole procedure herself, which is really cool, because it gave her, it showed that she's very, kind of independent, being able to do all that herself.
Yeah, and then there's Mads Mikkelsen,
Mads is always awesome.
He is in his... He had the... I forgot. He is the Caecilius. He's the main villain. He tries to get Dormammu, who is the boss of a different dimension, of an evil dimension, to come to Earth and devour it, basically. He was tricked by him, saying that he will be good and he will let everybody become happy and free. But I think he did a good job. I wasn't too fond of the makeup around his eyes, the little purplish makeup. It wasn't my thing. I could tell that it was basically makeup, but it wasn't anything else.
I really thought when they showed the eyes first, it was like, are they calling him that? But it's actually Thanos. Like, it looked like Thanos' eyes for a while. And then Dormammu.
Dormammu?
Yeah.
Dormammu looks very different when he does in the comics. So I have to say, I wasn't too fond of it. I think Marvel has struggles in creating big bad monsters.
I'd agree with that, because Apocalypse was kind of atrocious.
I'm not sure if that considers Marvel, but I've just seen the Marvel movies in general.
Oh, you're talking
Fantastic Four.
Are you talking about the cinematic universe? Or
I'm saying Marvel in general, like Marvel movies.
Well, Apocalypse was...
Well, Apocalypse was iffy. Then there was the Dormammu that I think was kind of iffy too. Then the Fantastic Four with the Galacticus was horrible.
And Silver Surfer wasn't the best.
Yeah, but I mean, it's...
You know what, one of the best Marvel ones that they've had? William Dafoe's Green Goblin. That was one of the best ones.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say that, he's not a huge, big guy. He's
not
a big monster.
Yeah.
He's a human with a
I'm just saying, villain-wise.
And then there was Benedict Wong, who came as more as like comedic effect, more than anybody else. He's the bookkeeper.
He's awesome.
Who is going to be, little tidbit, he is the right hand of Doctor Strange.
Oh, he is?
He's always with him. He's basically his butler. One of the main books of Doctor Strange, his story is he gets sick and Doctor Strange is going to try to get him cured with magic. He needs to go and find this cure to find the magic, and it's called The Oath. What the book is called, I recommend it. It's one of the classic Doctor Strange, and it's all about Doctor Strange doing everything he can to save him. And talking about that book, you know the scene that when they're getting operated and he gets out of his body and helps them? It's in that book.
Okay.
It's not the person of Rachel McAdams. It's a different doctor, but it's the same thing. He comes out of his body and helps the doctor save him.
Oh, that's really neat. I really did like that part in the movie, like how have an out of body experience, but still be able to be in our world, so people can see him having this out of body experience. Mm-hmm. I think that's awesome.
He is. That's basically what he does. He always does that. He can get up to his outer core and just become.
I did think that Benedict Wong's part was awesome. I don't know if anybody has watched it, but if they watch Marco Polo, he is the one who plays Kublai Khan. He is amazing in that show. And he's phenomenal in this movie as well. He's becoming a pretty renowned actor. I mean, he was in The Martian.
Yeah, he's been in. He's coming out pretty a lot.
Yeah,
I liked him. I thought he was interesting. He brought enough comedy, but not enough to eclipse Cumberbatch or eclipse Doctor Strange. He just came in bits and pieces where you can relate to him more or less. Like the Beyonce part with the songs and
and I think it doesn't involve him, but one of my favorite parts is when when Doctor Strange is fighting that guy in the hospital and they slam into the fucking vending machine and all the food comes out, and Doctor Strange's old coworker walks back and is just like, "Don't mind if I do take all the snacks that are in there." That was pretty funny.
What did not like?
Some of the stuff felt kind of too easy. I understand how I feel like a celestial being.
Dormammu is not a celestial being.
Oh, he isn't? I felt like someone that big would be able to do what he's doing. Like, okay, move over. You're kind of like a noob. I can handle this. Like, you need to, he would kill him. I think that's the only thing I would have an argument for. I don't see. I think the fighting and everything was cool. The storyline.
So you have no negative comments?
Just the fact that I feel like he really learned all that stuff a little too easy.
Mine was the makeup on the eyes. I wasn't too fond of I watched it 2 times. The second time, it got really boring for me, just because it's another beginning story. So I think it's one of those movies you can watch every once in a while, but it's not one you can rewatch more than once.
It's not like an Avengers where you don't need to know the backstories. It's about the actual story. Yeah.
I wasn't I think it was, that's the only criticism I can think about. But
I agree with the eyes. The eyes were a little weird.
The eyes were a little weird. Dormammu, I wasn't a big fan of Dormammu. Not because I thought he was easy to beat, I just didn't like his portrayal. How they decided to go with him. I like the classical version, purple with the head burning.
My issue is with Marvel, and this is another complaint. My issue is with Marvel is that they introduce these huge villains at the end of the... I think that they should have had Mads be the villain through the whole movie, and somehow Doctor Strange defeats him that way, and Dormammu be a different villain, because
So that's
okay, yeah. He looks way cooler there.
Yeah, so if you look at the classic Dormammu villain, he's super cool. I mean, he looks cool. He looks like
Actually, ironically, if you go to www.dormammu.com, he's actually sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Dormammu. I said him as Lord and Savior, and he will protect us.
He will.
He may transform us into stupid little beams. That's another Easter egg. When Doctor Strange sent them, you know how they start to transform into this. They go into a statue almost That's actually Dormammu's minions. They have a name for it.
My complaint is with the villains is that they build this up. They build this guy up.
So they call them mindless ones. So Dormammu, his minions are called the mindless ones, and if you look at it, they become that.
They look like a mix between Cyclops and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But my complaint is that I feel they can't get the huge villain part right. They just I think Mads did a good job as a villain. They portrayed that he used to be, he went to the monastery, got fixed like Benedict Cumberbatch did, but then he decided to go with the dark arts versus,
But it also sounded like it was a good story. Like he was like, oh, that guy has promised me all this shit, and you're saying that we cannot use this dark magic, but then I figure out that you do use it, so you're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
And you just want that dark magic for yourself. So you can see his reasonably why he wants to turn, why the Dormammu is tricking him. And you can see why, at the end, why his partner decides to say, I can't have this is bullshit, this is against the natural order.
Yeah.
And the second extended clip is his partner going evil. He takes the magic away from the guy who tells Doctor Strange where to go to get fixed. So it's everything makes sense. Like, it's not one of those villains like, oh, I just want to dominate the world. Why? Because I'm an evil guy. That's why. It's more or less they have a reason why.
But Dormammu himself,
easy. But he just wants to have.
But the issue I have with these villains is, I think hopefully Thanos would be the one that they get right. But like Dormammu, you hear about like this huge villain, and then he shows up, and it was a good part. But someone who just learned these traits, was he easily beat this person?
But he didn't beat him with magic. He beat him with smarts. That's what I like. I don't agree with you in that part. It's like Doctor Strange beat him with smarts. He didn't go there and overbeat him with his magic. He basically knew that if he put this time clock over and over again, there's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
And it seemed he only killed him 20 times, but I think the movie tried to portray that he killed him hundreds, thousands of times. Like, he was like, okay, I'm done. And Doctor Strange showed the perseverance of going and again and again. And you can see this is nothing new, you can see him with his surgery. Like, he was willing to risk everything. Like, break the bone, get in there, help me. Do this, do that. I will sell everything and go to Tibet and try to figure it out. So it's not like unreasonable to think that he wouldn't do that. So he every single time came back. He didn't beat him with super magic. He just beat him with a trick.
Yeah.
And that's Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange always outsmarts the enemy. He normally does not he's super powerful and depends on the writer. But normally he outsmarts the demon or Dormammu. He outsmarts him, and that's how he wins. For me, it was just the physical portrayal of Dormammu. Like, I would have wanted more classical, but at the same time, it's maybe they try the classical and it looks silly. Like, I'm not a movie theater guy, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason why they did that.
Yeah.
But maybe if you put maybe sometimes from a comic to the screen doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to everybody wear leather because it looks stupid.
Yeah.
But in the comics, you're like, oh my god, it looks fucking awesome.
I mean, I think he
looked cool.
He looked cool, but yeah.
I like the comic version better, and I this is like my geekiness coming in and be like, I want the classic.
Yeah. And
it's my way or the highway. But I'm pretty sure if I see the classic, maybe you're like, that looks stupid.
Yeah.
But let's go by the things that we love. Like, we good job, Doctor Strange. Good job, Marvel.
I definitely think for sure I love the ending credit. That shit was pretty funny.
With Thor?
Yeah, with Thor. Because Thor, you'd think that if it was like Tony or any of the other Avengers, he'd just be like, they would be kind of weirded out. But Thor is just like,
So you got. So you got.
He was more excited because he kept having his beer refilled, which I was really hoping Loki would be in there, but
it wouldn't make sense for Loki to be there.
Loki's gonna probably be in there for
Yeah, but I wouldn't make sure it wouldn't be there with drinking the beers. I love the fight scene. Yeah, the fight scenes, how they go Inception and then cut. I
like the fight scenes. I like the travel.
Little circles.
The time travel, not really time, but like, okay, I could go from here to Mount Everest like that. And I really liked the out of body experiences that they did. I think that was really neat.
Yeah, I felt like special effects for sure was the best that I've seen so far. It's one of the best. It's unbelievable. The actors overall, they're all great. I have no complaints. I love like the house is full of Easter eggs with the cloud of levitation and all the different magical objects and the Avengers. Every time I see this is that I wish they had, but at the same time I'm happy they don't even see it's a positive, even though they don't have an Avenger showing up. They don't have Iron Man like, hey, I'm here, and boom boom, just try. They were like, let's try to make this for. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy, there's no need to bring more people in. Like, give me a good story with that character.
I think specific movies, it's good that they're doing that still. But some, like Black Panther, you cannot make a solo Black Panther movie without, one of those guys showing up because Bucky's there. And Captain's secret.
That's what I'm. That's for me. It's a good positive. It's they choose a good character to be Solo.
They did. They chose, and it's just like in the Guardians. Like, yeah, they could probably show somebody in the Guardians, but why? Why would you?
Yeah,
do that?
It wouldn't make sense. It would like he basically was in Tibet for the longest time, and then they were in the battle in New York would last like a day, so it wasn't that weird.
It wasn't like your typical comic book movie.
I hope they mention it in the next couple movies, saying that, hey, you know, there's something weird happening in New York and nobody knows why, and you can see maybe Tony trying to figure out what it was.
What do you mean weird?
Because it's magic.
Well, no one in the actual universe sees the buildings flipping.
No, but there was a battle. They battled in New York. You know, when they went back in time and started reversing, and there's all this something. There's weird, you know.
Yeah.
Something like Tony mentioned is saying like, this is weird. There's some sort of anomaly here, and I guess there shouldn't be an anomaly here. And then that's a good way to introduce magic to the rest of the group.
I am interested. I think that's my biggest reason why I'm so excited for these future movies and like the Avenger movies is I'm really excited to see how everyone correlates together. Like how Peter Quill reacts to Tony Stark, or how Peter Quill reacts to Doctor Strange. You know, it's I mean that's what we got to see in that last clip of like Thor with him. Is like, okay, so that's how Thor would react with him, because Loki kind of delves.
But Thor believes in magic. He says magic is that it's science that we can.
Well, Loki
understand.
delves in it. Loki is a magician, basically.
But isn't Thor for one movie? He says, "Well, you call it science, we call it magic."
Yeah, in the first
one, it's your magic is what you can understand.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like Thor will be the easiest way to say, like, hey, and there'll be an easy way to enter because Loki does magic. So I see that's easy. I'm just wondering, what would Tony Stark or Mr. Fantastic, even though he's not going to show up, the people who are more science based think about magic? They're probably going to say there's no such thing as magic.
And that's a cool thing too, is because Doctor Strange is human, so he can discuss, you know, versus Thor. I mean, you could classify him as human, but really he's Asgardian. But
he's Asgardian.
Yeah, but he
is mortal, though.
Yeah, I know he's mortal, but like,
not in our standards.
He's not Earth-based.
No.
So, you know, you have these other Earth-based people like Mr. Fantastic, or you have Tony Stark, or even Peter Parker. Like, I mean, even though Peter probably wouldn't deal with that much stuff, but he's as smart as those guys.
Yeah. The smartest ones, I think, is Reed Richards, the smartest. Ant-Man. Ant-Man, not the new one. And Iron Man is in the top, and then Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is 4th or 5th smartest.
I think
Doctor Doom is there also. There's anybody's smart in the Marvel Universe. Like, he has all these powers, plus he's a genius, level 1.
Yeah.
He's a super genius.
I think Sue Storm's up there too. She's pretty smart.
But she's not in the smart realm what the smart people are. Like, she's still underneath like, she will be considered smart in a regular scene, but in the comic book series, like, Doctor Doom is genius, like, super genius. Reed Richards, Ant-Man, Iron Man. Every once in a while they try to make Spider-Man there, but he really he's not.
He's too street level.
Yeah, he will be considered. He's still a genius, and he's still super smart, but he's not like.
Professor X is up there, wouldn't he be? Or no, I wouldn't say he's just.
If you guys want to look it up, there is a list of a list of who he is. I know that there's always a fight between Doctor Doom, Reed Richards, Ant-Man, and Iron Man, and it's always like, this and this, that and that, you know. And then there's Master Strategic, so we're smart using troops, and there's all different stuff. But I think it was like, going back to what I loved, it was a fun movie.
Oh yeah, it was really fun.
It was a fun movie to watch the first time. The second time, of course, it's like I guess I saw it like week to week. So it was a fun movie. I remember watching the first time and I was blown away. Like that fighting skills, like when the special effects, it was just...
Definitely took a lot from Inception, though, because Inception had the same kind of fight scenes, like when they're fighting in a hallway. When Joseph Gordon-Levitt's fighting in the hallway of the hotel, it rotates while he's fighting, and he's fighting on the ceiling the other guy. So I do feel like they took a little bit out of Inception, which is good because it made that movie awesome.
Yeah. I like the beauty of it. Like, it's beautifully made.
I liked how they had the normal realm, and then they have like the mirror realm where you can't damage the normal world. I thought that was pretty neat. Mm-hmm. And I really thought how the Sanctum or whatever, the New York one that he was in, whatever his Sanctum or whatever, how he was like, how the panels changed where they were, and it flipped up and he kicked the person down into the Sahara Desert, and then changed it really quick, and then changed it to the rainforest or whatever. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I was hoping he would change it to like an ocean and kick someone out in the middle of the fucking ocean. Like, damn, you're an asshole.
But he didn't want to kill people.
He
didn't. Like, that's one of his points. Like, I'm a doctor. When he focuses, like, I'm a doctor, I save people.
Well, then, he said that at the end. He said,
like, I save people, and they're like, no, like you by killing that person, you save millions.
Yeah.
You don't have the guts to do it. And then right after that, he has to go back and kill him mode. And now you're right. He doesn't have time to. So, I mean, all this, the story makes sense. It's weird for a superhero movie that you understand him. Like, it makes sense. Like, you understand why he did it. You understand why he gets mad, because he's still a regular human being. And that's the first person he's ever killed.
Yep.
And how he has, like, the moment of conscience, like, when he's in Mr. Strange, and he's like, no, I'm a doctor. Yeah. I save people. I don't kill people. And how he has that moment of conflict, but at the same time they say, like, we don't have time for your shit.
Yep.
You need to jump back into the mode because, the world is in danger. And you need to step up. And I like that. I like that. That's weird. So, the villain is not, I'm going to be the evil villain and I'm going to conquer the world because I'm going to conquer the world.
He was more worried about conquering or...
making their mom happy, so everybody, because he thought he was going to get the world happy. He thought he was the killer. Mm-hmm. He thought he was going to be everybody happy, and it's normally those villains. The villain just kills him, and then the main villain shows up.
Yeah.
In this movie, the main villain shows up. He defeats him. He gets out, and he's like, "You've been
duped by your boss."
Yeah, you've been duped, and the guy's like, "No, this is a whole bunch of bullshit." Blah 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 blah. He's like, "Okay, you want to see him? Want to be with him? Go ahead." And then he transfers him into the minus ones.
I thought it was cool, though, like, when he reversed time, how everyone remembered it, like how Wong came back, he's like, whoa, you went against our code. Oh, well, let's just keep going with it. Don't.
Yeah, like he used the Eye of Agamotto. And I liked how he's like, oh, it's an Infinity Stone. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish they explained a little bit better that Eye of Agamotto, because when he wears it, technically he can tell if somebody's lying.
Oh, he can?
He can see the lies or truth, and that's why it's so important for him to have it, because there's demons that they transform into humans, and if he has Eye of Agamotto, they know they're demons.
I bet they'll introduce that later. Well, who knows, because, I mean, obviously they're not going to have a new Doctor Strange movie until after the event.
I just wonder if he's gonna just show up or something, or they're just gonna show how they steal it, because they need to show somebody taking the Eye of Agamotto and give it to Thanos.
He's definitely going to be in the movies, because they showed like the Russo brothers showed one of the places where they're filming locations, and it looks definitely like a place where they can use as a set for his Sanctum, like his, that one in New York. Like, oh, this is just a part. Like how, like, the Doctor in the TARDIS, you go in part of the TARDIS and it shows it's huge on the inside. Mm-hmm. And so there's different sections. Well, this is like a huge staircase in this. So it looks to be hopefully part of that.
Yeah, it's in the Sanctum Sanctorium.
Yeah, that's
it. I think it's funny how there's one in New York City and Manhattan. And it's, in the comics, he's able to hide it or make it look shitty or make it look super fancy. There's a couple of instances that he shows it to somebody who's like, what is this piece of shit?
The nerdy.
And then they open it up and it's super fancy. Like, holy fucking shit, what happened? And you're like, not everything looks what it appears.
The nerd in me wanted him to be like, go into the one in London.
Uh-huh.
And then he comes out and the door is Baker Street. I was like, dude, that would be so cool.
I was hoping they would say, like, it looks bigger from the inside.
That would be cool too, but like, it would be cool if he came out of the one in London and it was Baker Street, because he's Sherlock.
Yeah, I know it's located in it's 1778 Baker Street in New York City.
Yeah,
that's where it's located, and I always thought it was kind of funny. Yes, see it. And
anything else?
I would just say let's rate it.
Yeah,
I'll give it 3.5 stars, close to 4 beers. Not quite 5, not quite 4. Because like I said, I'm not going to get 5 to somebody, but...
I'd give it 3.5. That's fine, because it's above average, but it's still,
It's no Guardians, it's no first Iron Man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a fun movie. Like, you want to see a fun movie that you can enjoy, and it's one of the movies that you should watch in the movie theaters.
Agreed. Yeah.
There's a few movies I can see that, and the special effects are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I liked it. I recommend to watch it. I'll watch it again. Just give me a year.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
All right. Is there any news in the Daily Bugle today?
No, Daily Bugle's a little dry today. I don't think I know.
I just saw in the reviews of a Pokemon. Maybe there's something there. What's your review of Pokemon?
Oh, what's my review on Pokemon? I would say the new Pokemon is out of
because you haven't played it since Pokemon Yellow.
Yep.
So I really am interested in your...
Well, I would definitely say it's evolved a lot. And with me being kind of a noob again, I get it. It evolved.
I got it. I think anybody got it.
Yeah. But I really think that... I don't know, I did like the simplicity of Yellow, like how they just kind of evolved. It's just now...
Clarification, he has realized that some Pokemon need to be traded, some Pokemon need to be... the friendship has to be to the max, some other Pokemon need to be close to like a Moss or an Ice Rock to evolve. So he texted me saying something about Alakazam?
Yeah.
And it was like, how do you evolve that to... No, from Kadabra to Alakazam, it's like you need to trade it to somebody else. And he thought you had to go to somebody in the game to trade it.
But why don't they ever say any of that in the game?
I mean, that Kadabra to Alakazam is from Generation 1. So maybe they're just assuming that you should know, but maybe they do mention it. I'm not 100% sure if they do or do not. It's another one is from Golem. From Graveler to Golem, you need to trade it to... Like in Eevee, if you want to have Ice Eevee, Isolon I think it's called, you need to be close to the Ice Rock. They're more different. There's like not all of them some would just need to be evolved. You just get them high level and they will just transform by themselves. Yeah. Others need to be happy. Others need to be traded. Others need to be traded with certain item with them to evolve. So I think it's just because you jump so many generations that it's so new to you, everything that you're like, oh my god, this is way more confusing than it used to be. But if you play the game by game, every game just added something else.
Okay.
Something different. Like, with this one, look, these two Pokemon need to have this. Well, this one needs to be there. Yeah. Well, this group, so you just learn with it. And then all of a sudden, like, if you jump from Generation 1 to the last generation, there's a shit new things.
Yeah.
Like, there's no bicycle now. And you don't need to learn how to smash rocks. You can use the Terras.
Yeah, I do like the fact that you don't have to go through, like in Pokemon Yellow, where you're like, okay, I need this Pokemon to have this skill so I can chop a bush. I'm like, thank God I don't have to fucking do that.
I'm happy about that too. That's something new.
Yeah.
The difficult level has been increased, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's much more difficult than it used to be. This is a few times that I actually had to think about it before jumping into a battle. Normally it's like, they have water Pokemon, so my electric Pokemon is just gonna rape and destroy.
Yep.
I like it. I think it's kind of fun.
I like it a lot.
I'm a big fan of Pokemon, so I will give it a 4 years.
I'll give it 4. I think it's fun. I mean, like, I've had a lot of fun with it. I like it way more than Yellow, obviously, because I bought Yellow because I put it on the 3DS.
That was your first Yellow?
Well, I mean, I played it when I was younger.
Okay.
But I wanted to play it again. It was, $10. But yeah, I was just like, I finally was just like, oh, this is brutal, man. So old.
My first one was Red. And I remember getting it without knowing what the fuck was Pokemon. It was like, it originally came out. I didn't even watch the cartoons. I didn't know there were card games. I just played it when it came out. And I played the shit out of it. I played it so much that it wasn't cool until I beat the game and I was doing my own thing, and then it became super cool. Like everybody was like, oh my god, the Pokemon fever just jumped. And then I was like, all my friends were like, holy shit, all your Pokemon are so leveled up. What you did is like, I've been playing for 4 months before it actually became popular.
Yeah.
Then I played every single game afterwards. So my team normally is based on most first generation more than old generation, but it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it, and I think that's it for tonight.
Yep. Cheers.
Right, cheers.
Follow us on Two Ordinary Nerds at gmail.com, or you can follow us on Facebook at Two Ordinary Nerds. We're on Twitter at Two Ordinary Nerds.
And for all our listeners that are from the United States, happy Thanksgiving. It's a couple of days from now.
Yep.
I'm probably going to be out after Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys digest all that food correctly, and we hope to see you soon.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers.
Cheers.